Hey everybody, Raptall back here with my very first X and Y battle. I know this is just Showdown, it's nothing special, but right now I'm kind of just testing out a few things to start making some teams. I've actually been breeding my first team in-game. This is the current team that I'm planning on making. I've made 4 out of the 6. I haven't done Sylveon or Avalugg yet, but I'm kind of testing it out before I want to do it for real. Couple things, this team is kind of weak to things like Sizer, Bullet Punch, Steel. All that is really hurtful because pretty much all my walls are super affected by it. So that's not very good. Anyway, I'm trying to build a couple different teams based around different Megas. This one is around Mega Charizard X. I really like it. Klefki is kind of there to spread some Thunder Wave status around, and most of my guys, except for Greninja and Charizard, are more just to help stall things, weaken them, and get things ready for Charizard and Greninja to hopefully sweep. Anyway, I hope you guys like this battle, so we'll get going right away. Alright, so here we get going. My opponent's going to lead off with his Gengar, and I decided to lead off with Klefki, seeing his team, because I figured anything that he has would not enjoy getting statused for the most part. He does go into his Pinsir, which turns out to be a Mega Pinsir. Part of this is, pretty impressive on Avalugg's part, although I think my opponent could have used a better move. Avalugg is a defensive beast. It is ridiculous. It only does a +2 attack boosted by the Aerolate ability, only does 0.25%. If he had something like, I don't know, Earthquake or Close Combat, it probably would have done more. But even so, that thing is really a defensive beast. Sadly, it is not at all a special defensive beast. So I kind of went into Noivern here, kind of expecting a Focus Blast. Instead he goes for the Trick Room, and I know he's going to hit me, but there's not a whole lot I can do, so I just go for the U-turn to get at least a decent amount of damage. My Noivern is Scarfed max speed. I know its power is kind of lacking, but it does help on certain occasions, which you might see a little bit later. Anyway, the Sylveon is built fully for special defense. I really didn't bother with the bold max defense nature because I do have 2 guys that are pretty much max defense in Avalugg and Klefki. Klefki is more utility than a solid wall, that kind of thing, but it kind of does its job. Anyway, as I'm going in here, Greninja is not choiced in any way. It's actually expert belted, partially to bluff a choice item, and partially just because of the Protean ability, and it has a lot of decent coverage. Not everything, but decent coverage. I figured Expert Belt was a good idea, especially with its speed already being pretty damn awesome. I do go for the sub on Klefki. I'm not really sure why, because I should have realized Aura Sphere is going to break it. So I decided to just get some status on the Togekiss. It would have been nice to do that without taking a little bit extra damage, but what you gonna do? Anyway, like I said before, Sylveon is it's really, really damn good. Its special attack is no slouch either, which is one of the reasons I decided to try it. I know I always used to love that Umbreon set, but I figured that my team could use a little bit more of a special attacking thing in this wall, just since my other 2 walls were a little bit more on the physical side of attacking. Not that they're going to attack anything in particular. Now, a lot of the Gengars I've faced obviously are the Mega Gengar, but he can't be that because of the Pinsir that he had. Anyway, I kind of expected him to go for a Sludge Bomb, which is why I went into Klefki, so I could get the Wish without getting hurt. But going into Aegislash was perfect for me, or so I thought. I kind of get screwed over on all the wrong turns to get paralyzed here. I do foul play, but sadly still in defense form, so I really get screwed. That first paralyzation, I was going to go for the sub, and it just didn't do it for me. So I do get the sub this time, but I'm going to get paralyzed on this one. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? This is like the perfect situation. Klefki is usually an amazing counter to Aegislash and all that, but this time it just was a no-go. I kind of hoped on a whim that I'd be able to survive +4 stab, or not stab, a super effective move. Sadly, it was a no-go. At that point I kind of thought the game was over, but for some reason it doesn't go for Shadow Sneak. I thought it would have killed, just because it's crazy, and Greninja really isn't that strong defensive in any aspect. But it kind of works out for me, so it gives me a fighting chance here. Anyway, every time he's going into the Reuniclus, I pretty much just go straight back into Sylveon. I know I'm probably not going to kill it outright, but I can stall out anything it's trying to do just to kind of get me a nice momentum shift, hopefully, and just stall out Trick Room turns, as you're seeing here. Now, the nice thing is that I am fully specially defensive, that I can actually live a few hits, super effective hits from Gengar that isn't Mega Gengar. Even if it is Mega Gengar, I can, it does 2-hit KO me, it's definitely not a 1-hit KO. So, if I'm lucky and kind of play things right, I can at least get a solid amount of damage on it for something to hopefully come in and take it out afterwards. One of the reasons that I actually do run Choice Scarf and Noivern on this team is, as I was making it, the team seemed kind of slow, even with Greninja on there and Dragon Dance Charizard. But I just wanted to have something that could really outspeed really, really fast things. Anyway, I'm really liking this Protean ability. It's really nice for hit and run stuff. It's able to just get me some good scouting, good damage, all that stuff. Now, this is why I run Choice Scarf Noivern. I get to outspeed a +2 Cloyster and go for the Draco Meter and kill it. That made me so happy. So happy. Joy raining from the sky in forms of giant draconic balls that Noivern likes to shoot. Anyway, I kind of leave this guy in for death fodder at this point because I don't know what else I want to take a hit, which is, well, nothing. And it kind of works out perfectly in my favor because I do just enough damage and kind of psych him out thinking I was going to switch to stall out enough Trick-Room turns so there's only one left. Now, at this point I have Charizard and Greninja left. He has this guy and Togekiss left with half-ish health. I know there's only one Room of Trick turn left, so I know I can Dragon Dance on the turn that it's going. It goes out. I'm going to be faster this time. I'm going to be stronger. I can go for the Flare Bits and knock him out. The reason I have Dragon Claw over Outrage, the reason for that is I don't like getting locked into it. It just I know it's more powerful. I know it is, but that's what I do. Anyway, it kind of works out perfectly. I get the double down, and because of the Protean Ice Beam, I'm able to take out the Togekiss. So I've kind of enjoyed this team. I'm not a big fan of the really big Steel weakness. So do you guys have any thoughts? I was thinking maybe a Fortress instead of the Avalugg. It's just hard because I really like a lot of the composition of this team. Anyway, leave your thoughts and stuff in the comments. See you guys later. Peace.